2 months before this video, I had absolutely no experience in PHP, hosting, FTP, JSON, API and whatnot. Me and my studio, we took a contract on Upwork for customizing Bitrix24. One developer made our first script, then disappeared. And in order to fulfill my obligations to the customers, I needed to start developing everything myself. Bitrix24 is a powerful system containing a lot of tools like CRM, task management, company disk, calendar, business processes, website builder, marketing automation, etc. But what if these functions are not enough for you? You probably heard from Bitrix24 consultants this phrase: Bitrix doesn't have such function, but we will make a webhook. Okay, now you can make a webhook. With the help of webhooks, you can literally add, modify, delete, import, copy or duplicate leads, tasks, orders, companies, contacts, invoices, custom list items, statuses, stages. You can even create and modify workflow and business processes. Let me state some important things right from the beginning. First, webhooks are just scripts running on any hosting you trust and control. Second, the hosting is a place where you normally keep your website, unless you use a website builder, one of which does exist inside the Bitrix24, by the way. Third, webhook is nothing more than just a web page, which your Bitrix24 calls via the URL. The only difference with the usual web page is it goes to the deeper programming language right from the beginning of your script, of your page. Fourth, everything that I tell you here about a webhook is pretty much applicable to any serious IT system. So once you decided to enter the API era, chances are you'll meet these acronyms: HTTP, REST, CRUD, POST, create, insert, get, select, put, etc. However, the most important thing to know now is JavaScript object notation file, JSON. Well, JSON is a generic data format with a minimal number of value types, like strings, numbers, booleans, lists, objects, and null. Although the notation is a subset of JavaScript, these types are represented in all common programming languages, making JSON a good candidate to be like an Esperanto of programming languages of the whole world. Here is how that JSON might look like. If you read it up, you'll quickly find its readability. Look, this is just an internet order. It can be read by machines and by people. Okay, I do have a good news for you. You don't need to write such a file yourself. The task is much easier. Here you may see all the participants, Bitrix24, Internet and Webhook. Bitrix24 has a special inbound webhook form card. You may find it by the following path: developer resources, other, inbound webhook. Copy that URL and paste it into your webhook's script, right how it is shown here. In the webhook script, you enter the URL manually. This URL will be used to send your JSON files. This number after the rest is the user ID. It means that your webhook will work only on behalf of some particular user. I recommend using the ID of your super admin. In the field permissions, you'll choose CRM, task or other modules you agree to give permission to. Imagine for a second that our webhook needs to know the average temperature in Paris, and your Bitrix24 does have such an information. Your webhook will send a JSON file containing city, Paris, units, Celsius, to Bitrix24 using the secret URL we've described just above. And we'll immediately give the response like that one. Low is 16, high is 23. Cool? What about the situation when you want to get an alert when the temperature is changed? For these situations, Bitrix24 has another form card right near the inbound webhook. Outbound webhook. Here, we are welcome to make manual settings on a Bitrix24 site. Tell to Bitrix24 the URL of your webhook. Next important thing here, the field events. For example, in one of my videos, I told you about customer revenue calculation. The webhook doing that is pretty convenient to call via the event invoice status updated. This is not the only place where you can point the event, which will call your webhook. There are also automation rules in CRM, automation rules in tasks and projects, workflow activity. In all these places you can point not only your webhook, but also some parameters. To finalize the visual picture, here is the last slide. Event causes the call of your webhook. Webhook sends a JSON query and receives JSON reply. This is it. What next? Now choose your preferred programming language. I've chosen PHP. To write a script for my webhook, I took the Visual Studio app. By the way, links to all apps mentioned here you may find in the description of this video. Just scroll down a little bit. And don't forget to subscribe. In order not to write JSON myself, I found a good library. Now I can use very simple add, update, delete semantic to operate data in my Bitrix24. My script and links to the library you'll find in the description as well. So, the script is ready, right? Now we should host it somewhere. Obviously, if you write your code on PHP, you'll need a hoster who can provide you a server with a PHP interpreter. The only caution from my experience: don't use free hosting. Free means free. You never know how long it will take for your webhook to react for the call. What else? Find your favorite FTP client. In my case, it's FileZilla, and use it to transfer your webhook to the server and download log files from the server. What webhooks can and cannot do. Webhooks can help you integrate Bitrix24 with PrestaShop, SAP SuccessFactors, Shopify, Microsoft Dynamics. The list is limitless. This is a list of what I personally did for my customers just in 1 month after I taught myself to make webhooks. And these are customizations made solely, totally only by webhooks. What webhooks cannot do? They cannot make interfaces, forms, custom notifications and similar things. They cannot do anything that is not allowed by API. For instance, you cannot have access to the deals comments, emails, email signatures, or they cannot make you neither coffee nor tea. Finally, here are obstacles you need to overcome to be able to run your webhook. First, find hosting. Second, decide what events will call your webhook. Third, find the library. For PHP, I did it for you. Fourth, make your script. Fifth, use FTP client. Period. And I wish you joy of knowledge. See you!